Big advantage, small advantage. Here we're going to talk about how being able to play the game faster mentally and how you position yourself will either give your team a big advantage or a small advantage. We're going to break it up into categories. Big advantage, small advantage, neutral, disadvantage, or big disadvantage. So here we go. We get the rebound. There's a trap, 2 on the ball. This is a disadvantage. Braylon does what he should do and retreat dribbles. Jacob needs to shorten this pass and make it from a 30-foot pass to a 10-foot because now Braylon has 2 defenders, a baseline and the sideline. That pass is too long. Somebody's going to run through it. That's why you got to shorten them. So White gets a turnover and a wide open shot. All right, Jackie has a disadvantage. Isaac's coming behind her, but good footwork gets us out of trouble. We got 2 on the ball. Now it's a 2-1 split. Now Caleb could cure this if he jumps to this side, but he jumps to the front, so it's a straight line pass, and now that's a big advantage. All right, so now Jackie's coming up. There's an advantage. Could throw it to Jacob up ahead. Keeps dribbling. Jacob does a good job of cutting her off right after she crossed half court, so she has 2 extra defenders, so 4 total. Now that's a disadvantage, and there's your turnover. All right, this is an advantage right here. Big advantage. All right, Ty licks to throw it out, so this is even bigger than big advantage. And Jake Galen gives up the ball, and now we're in a neutral situation where everybody's on the ball. So we got to take advantage of the huge advantages that we have. All right, so here's the dribble up. Here's the trap. The dribble is still alive, so it's still neutral. Now that we picked up the dribble, it becomes a disadvantage. Jackie makes a heck of a play to give us an advantage. One big play can change all that. All right, so we went from disadvantage to advantage really quickly. All right, so Jacob's on the ball. That's a lot to ask him to stop ball and first pass, so this should be a shot or a drive baseline. All right, now when we get here, you could hook pass it out to Galen or drive to the paint. You have a huge advantage. All right, so we're only looking to pass, so now we're playing against a closeout. Still an advantage there. We don't make a good read on it. Not another closeout. We could attack middle, make Caleb guard, and then we could hit Jackie. Or tie if Jacob helps up. But now we stop the ball. Now all defenders are balanced, and this is a neutral. This is a neutral play. All right, so we passed up about 3 or 4 advantages there. All right, so here comes a trap. Dribble still alive, so it's neutral. Once he picks up his dribble, this becomes a disadvantage with 2 people, but Jacob splits it, creates an advantage with good footwork. That's good training right there. So here's the dribble up. Now here's an advantage because Braylon sprints. Isaac's trailing him, so that's an advantage if he hurries up and attacks. He does, which makes the corner guy help. Big advantage. All right, so we get a wide open look just for driving and making a second guy guard us. All right, that's usually your purpose for any offense. Get 2 on the ball. All right, so now look at this flare. It's a little easier to flare than read this and hide behind the screen. So Jacob goes under the screen. Jackie hides behind it, which makes it a further closeout. 2 possessions later, we're in the same situation where the defender goes underneath the screen, which means we have an advantage if we stay behind the screen, but we need to know where the defender and the ball is. We're not aware of that, so we're only focused on the ball, so now it's a neutral situation. Very short closeout, didn't create a long enough closeout to keep an advantage. All right, so here comes a disadvantage. We got a trap with a dead ball. If we can move the ball quick enough with 0.5 decisions, meaning you could play a play ahead. Jackie already knows where she's going with the ball before she catches it, which is a quick mental play. Now we have a huge advantage. Wide open shot. Here, Colin has his man, Caleb has his man, and man on ball. So now everybody is neutral right now. Now a trap comes. We have to throw the ball where the trap comes from. Then we'll have a 2-1 split, and that's a big advantage. All right, we don't recognize it quick enough, so we lose it. All right, so we get an opportunity at the rim. Now, the best time to shoot a 3 is after offensive rebound. We have 2 wide open players who we should hit. The only way to justify not throwing it there is if the next guy you're passing to is Klay Thompson. But we got to know personnel, and we also got to make a much better pass. So here, we're in a neutral situation, live dribble. A bad pass puts us in a bad predicament because now we've created extra defenders, huge disadvantage. All right, now Nehemiah makes an amazing play to give us an advantage. That usually doesn't happen. You don't want to put your teammates in that kind of predicament with unforced passing errors. Here we got an advantage. We get a step on the defender. Ethan is wide open. So if we take one more dribble and Ty helps over, he should be open. But as you noticed, Ethan is leaving out, so he left Michaela with no opportunity or no option but to shoot. And against that lens, she's not getting a shot up. So we got to position ourselves better. Now here, Jackie pops open. You should hit her on time. And right when Galen released, you got to hit him now. The pass takes entirely too long, so it puts us in a bad spot. But you still have a job to get behind the ball so Jacob can't guard you and the middleman. Right now he can guard two because your spacing is poor, which now puts us in a disadvantage situation because of spacing. Now here comes a screen from Ethan. Ty should be guarding him. He's way too far back. So now one-on-one defense becomes team defense once the pick and roll happens. Zach goes underneath the screen, and with no hedge guy, all Ethan has to do is roll into him to create a much bigger advantage. You can see Isaac's wide open. Here we have a small advantage. Jackie's dribbling right at the defender. She needs to occupy him and throw a pass without turning her shoulders. So it'll be a later closeout, which creates a big advantage score. Most players would turn their shoulders to throw that pass. Hopefully this video gave you a little insight of how to make yourself more efficient and a better player. Most players think, oh, I didn't make the team or I'm not getting playing time and I hit all these shots, where you're actually getting pulled out the game because you play the game too slow mentally, or you position yourself wrong. So learn to get better at these things, because good winning coaches recognize it, and that's the players that should stay on the floor. Good luck, everybody.